What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Fluffinutta back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show that dropped, the full series. So now you can watch all 10 episodes of season 1, and I'll discuss what I thought about the series overall. And I'm not going to do a full breakdown of everything that happened. That would just make this video way too long, and this one's just going to be kind of a quick little review of my thoughts and initial rating of each episode. So let's get into it. So, before I do, be sure to hit that like button. It really does help me know what videos you guys enjoy from me. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're new. That way you can stay up to date on all my future videos. And as well, this upcoming Saturday, March 1st, 2025, I'll be dropping a new single on my Spotify, and I'll probably end up uploading it to YouTube a little bit later than that, but it'll be on Spotify, and the link to pre-save it will be in every future video this week down below. But let's talk about some Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was overall, in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. It was not the greatest thing that I've ever watched, but it also wasn't the worst. And going into it, I was surprised of how much I found myself enjoying it. But as each episode progressed, the first episode I really enjoyed, and then progressively as it went along, I found myself just feeling meh, and then having a few moments where I found were really enjoyable and really great, and then back to being just meh. So it was like 50-50 whether or not I'd actually enjoy stuff or just be meh about it. But I didn't hate anything really about the show. The show wasn't poorly written whatsoever. It just needed a little bit more fine tuning. Like, there was a lot of stuff where a lot of the stuff they tried to go about making happen, like some of the character introductions just didn't land, or it felt a little awkward or odd, but it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. A lot of the negative stuff I have about the show are more so personal gripes rather than like overall like negative writing impacts. It's just a few moments I feel like could have been refined and I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But that being said, overall, I really enjoyed the first season, and I hope they do a season 2. It really refined the storytelling a little bit more. I really do think that this version of Peter is nerfed coming out of it, because he does not use his spider sense, and they make that abundantly clear that he does not use his spider sense, and they bash you over the head with that. And at first, you're kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, maybe they're just not making it noticeable he's using a spider sense. No, they completely get rid of the spider sense. They don't know how to write it, apparently. Which, yeah, it never gets mentioned, it never gets used. He doesn't have it. Most of the times when he's dodging stuff, he's dodging out of the way because he can see that it's about to happen, and so he does that. He doesn't actually dodge out of the way due to a spidey sense, which is fucking criminal. But that if I had to give a negative point about part of the writing, it would be that they nerfed him by getting rid of his spider sense. And also, they didn't really have, how should I say, it felt like every episode something was, emotionally happening to Lonnie, but, I don't know, Peter kind of got pushed off into the background more so than I felt like Lonnie did, which is okay. I didn't mind that. I liked Lonnie as a character. I actually enjoyed Lonnie as a character more than just Peter outside of Spider-Man, because literally the show focuses so much on Spider-Man, it barely delves into Peter. We barely see Peter hang out with Nico until he has that one moment with Harry. But then they end up hanging out, that's just the cost of them being Spider-Man, but it would have been nice to see more moments where they're actually showing that they're best friends. We see him, like, hang out with her, like, once by themselves. But whatever, it is what it is. And then, of course, you got some other stuff that happens. But yeah, you got some other stuff that happens, and yeah, I don't know. It was okay. It was okay overall. It wasn't the greatest. They could have done some more stuff with Peter, I felt like. Really show some more grounded moments with him and Aunt May, I think, would have been nice. More closure on Uncle Ben. They still, like, leave out Uncle Ben. What's with the trend of, like, Uncle Ben not being a thing? Because, like, that's where a lot of the emotional stuff with Peter comes from, but, like, they keep taking that away from Peter. I don't understand it. That's, like, a vital part of the character. I don't know. I just find it a bit weird that they would do that. And they it's not like they don't have him at all. They show him. But, like, they don't expand what happened. They don't go into it. It really doesn't affect Peter at all that Uncle Ben died. It doesn't even really affect May, really. And they don't delve into that. Like, I don't know, man. Like, a lot of the morals and responsibilities, like, came from Ben, but they're totally getting rid of that so they could have it come from Norman, or, like, him discovering it for himself, which it doesn't have that same impact as the Uncle Ben thing, which I don't understand what the whole get rid of Uncle Ben thing is. I guess it's because people complained about it, like, oh, how many times are we going to see Uncle Ben? Well, I mean, I don't know. How many times are we going to see Spider-Man? But you can't have Spider-Man without Uncle Ben. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. And the only reason it works for Tom Holland's is because they substitute Uncle Ben for Aunt May. You have to have an Uncle Ben. You have to have somebody like Uncle Ben. Technically, Tom had, like, multiple Uncle Bens, but, it's still the point that, like, Uncle Ben is still an important character regardless, because then if you don't get Uncle Ben, you get characters that are like Uncle Ben. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice to just have a little bit more clarity on the whole Uncle Ben situation. That's all. As a hardcore nerd, would have been cool, but doesn't actually take away anything from the series overall. It's just just another one of my little gripes. Also, I felt like the female lizard, like Dr. Connors. I mean, she's not even the lizard in this one. She's just Dr. Connors. I feel like that was unnecessary. Like, that character didn't even have to be involved whatsoever. They kind of just threw her in to throw her in, just so they could have, like, diverse characters or whatever. But, like, that doesn't even make sense because they have so many other, like, strong female leads, and, like, I don't know, it just felt shoehorned. Like, and then they, like, fool you into thinking, like, they're going to do that with some of the other characters. Like, when they first show the chick with the scorpion tattoo, I don't know if that was the intention, but it's almost like leading you to believe that she's gonna be Scorpion. And I'm glad that they didn't actually make her the Scorpion. But I could see her being a, like, henchman of Scorpion or whatever, and set up later, which I don't mind that. See, stuff like that makes sense. Because, they're taking an established character, giving them, like, side characters that end up becoming their own thing. I don't care about that. As long as it's cool, I fuck with. And I ended up fucking with that chick overall. And I hope she gets, to fight Spidey as, like, a side, like, Scorpion, like a female Scorpion. That would be cool, because it's a separate from the regular Scorpion, because he's established now. Same with the Unicorn. The Unicorn, they lead you to believe that she's going to be Rhino, but then she ends up being the Unicorn. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's pretty cool. And then we still have Rhino. See, that's the kind of shit that makes so much more sense. The Dr. Connors shoehorn doesn't make sense because she's barely in the show. She's not really a mentor to Peter. They kind of work together on one project for Norman, and then at the end it gets revealed what all their projects were used for. And you don't see her really. You don't really get to spend time with her at all. So like you didn't even need her. You could have just named her like some random scientist number 5, and like the same effect would have been happening. The only difference is that they decided to make her Dr. Connors, which people who know the comics know that she's going to become the Lizard. And I honestly would rather them do a plot twist and make it Dr. Whitman be the Lizard, because number one, he looks more like a lizard than she does. Already right out the gate. But like, even then, I still fuck with the idea of having her like turn other people into lizards, and then just be the smart person behind the scenes. Even though it's kind of like a repeat of other like villains we've seen, but like I don't care. That makes more sense than to just like do something different. If you're already in an Elseworld story, do something different with the character. If you're already changing it up like that, using the whole like, oh, it's the multiverse, anything can happen type shit. I don't fuck with that. No, if you're gonna do that, change the character up more. Make her control like Dr. Whitman and make him the Lizard, and make her control like these humanoid lizards. That would actually be kind of sick. I can't lie. But anyways, let's get into the actual breakdown of each episode's individual rating. I believe episode 1 I liked the most out of all of them. I gave that episode an 8 out of 10. I really fucked with that as an introduction to this whole new series. It really laid the groundwork of all the future episodes to come. The plot twists were very good. Each episode has a plot twist or two. And, the first episode of this is no exception. You get the reveal that instead of Tony coming to meet with Peter for the internship, it's Norman, which is very cool. I really fucked with that. They set the groundwork of him getting his powers pretty well, and overall, I really enjoyed that episode. I like the art style. At times it does look weird throughout the entire series. If you notice and like actually pay attention to the background, you'll notice that they don't even animate like every character. But like shit in like other popular animes, they'll like animate like every individual detail. Like, I don't know. It just felt weird that they would just half-ass it. And then also like the voice lines in the audio would actually not be synced to the character's lip movements like you would think it would. Like, it doesn't even look like it would be convincing enough. It's just kind of weird, and a lot of the times it comes out of sync, and just looks jarring and off-putting. But that's another thing that the show would get a negative impact on overall. But episode 1, 8 out of 10. It was great. I do overall like the art style. It's literally like a comic book's moving to life, and they do it pretty well. The action scenes I feel like are the best, because it's 2D and then it goes to 3D more so. And then the show overall actually reminds me of the and a lot of people have said this, the MTV Spider-Man show with Neil Patrick Harris as Peter Parker. That show is actually underrated. I'll probably do a review of that one, but besides the point, episode 1, 8 out of 10. Moving on to episode 2. Episode 2, we see Peter starting his first day of Oscorp. This one was the most filler out of all of them. I don't know, this one felt like it went by so fast. Nothing really happened until the end, really. I mean, other than, revealing that, Dr. Connors is now a female. But anyway, that episode was kind of doo-doo dog ass. I gave it overall a solid 4 out of 10. It was really just filler. It went by so fast. I when I initially recorded my episodes, and I was originally gonna air those as like a watch party type thing, but it's just so much editing involved in that, and it ended up being so long of footage that I just didn't end up doing it. But my initial reaction, I made know how like fast it like went by. It just like was like blinked and it was over. But you know, we got a lot of good moments with Lonnie in that one, so it was okay. Moving on to, episode 2, 4 out of 10, absolutely. Moving on to episode 3, the Secret Identity Crisis. Episode 2 at the end, you know, Norman reveals Peter's identity to him, and then they start working together. You know, nothing too crazy. Episode 3. This one's more so about Lonnie rather than Peter. I mean, Peter's dealing with the fact that, like, Norman knows, but, like, it's not that big of a deal, really. This one's more memorable for Lonnie. Lonnie joins the 110th Street Gang, and I really enjoyed that. I like that they're setting him up to become Tombstone, which is really fucking cool. Definitely an underrated Spider-Man character, and a great choice to lean into for this. But yeah, episode 3, it's a little bit better than episode 2, but still kind of like just meh. You know, it's got some good moments, but not great overall. I would say that this is more of a 5 out of 10. It's like middle of the road, you know. Episode 4 is absolutely dog shit. I honestly would say that it's worse than episode 2. Episode 4, I'm giving a 3 out of 10. Episode 4 sucked dog nuts. That shit was trash, dude. Having Peter not be Spider-Man and, like, just have him, like, finding his own identity, even though we've already established that he's Spider-Man. Norman accepts him as Spider-Man and wants to help Spider-Man. In reality, they don't even lean into the fact that he's changing his identity. They could have thrown in an Easter egg where he's setting up, you know, the Green Goblin shit. Like, hello, come on. That would have been, like, a clear, like, make a suit green and then, like, have him fly around on a glider, bro. That could have been, like, and then that same glider could have been used when they introduce it in one of the later episodes. Like, come on, dude. Like, you missed the fucking bag on that one. If you're gonna have him not dressed up as Spider-Man, but by the end of the episode, they give him a white suit, which makes no complete fucking sense. When the white suit, honestly, is a cool fucking suit, he should have had that towards the end of the series. Is it just me? Or is that just a little weird that he goes from fucking the homecoming suit, damn near, to the fucking cool ass fucking white shit? Like, I don't know, man. Like, that should have been saved for the end of the season, because that's the only time you're gonna see him wear that cool ass suit. You know, like, fuck. Start us off with the red and blue, and then give us some new shit. But no, they spend a whole episode giving us suits that we'll never see again, that are just damn near fucking just dookie cheeks, just to have this whole thing about him trying to figure out what kind of hero he wants to be, even though he's already established that he wants to be Spider-Man. And Norman is just all of a sudden one that, it just didn't make sense with the characters they've established. Didn't make sense to Peter, didn't make sense to Norman. Norman was accepting of Spider-Man. It pissed me off. That one was the most waste of time. And it's the longest, now that I'm noticing it. It's one of the longest episodes. God damn. So stupid. Anyways, moving on from that piece of trash. The Unicorn Unleashed. The Unicorn Unleashed was definitely a step up from episode 4. I feel like it was heading back in the right direction. I'm going to give this one a 5.5 out of 10. It was really good. They set up a lot of stuff in this particular episode, and I quite enjoyed it thoroughly, even though the white suit was still weird to me. I still didn't fuck with the white suit. Moving on to episode 6. This is the one that introduces Daredevil. This is a great episode. The introduction of Daredevil was nice. I really wish we would have gotten a little bit longer of him in there, but with the short run time of each episode, couldn't make it work, I guess. But overall, really fucked with it. Really liked their interaction. It was really cool to see, or technically see and hear Charlie Cox reprise the Daredevil role. And speaking of Daredevil, I will be doing a review of Daredevil because I am rewatching the series with my fiance, and I'll be doing that here soon. But having him in this was really, really cool. Really nice to see them interact with each other for the first time on screen, I think. That's the first time that they've ever interacted was in this, which I feel like should have been saved for live action. Oh, actually, no. We saw Tom. Okay, I take it back. But I mean, they're in the suits this time, so it's like it's a little different. It would have been nice to see them interact in the suits in live action, but it's still cool nonetheless. I like this episode. He stops a mysterious intruder, and some other shit happens. I really forget how the episode ends, to be honest. Other than that, that was the highlight of the episode, but I didn't end up disliking this episode at all. I didn't find it filler. I like this episode so much, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. Definitely very good. Episode 7, also really good. This is where you get the first introduction of the Scorpion in his full suit and actually fights one-on-one with Spider-Man. That was really fucking badass. Peter damn near fucking dies. And I really enjoyed this episode as well. This episode I would also give a... I'm going to give this episode a... You know what? Actually, Duel with the Devil, I'm going to bump up to 6.5. This episode, I'm going to give a 6. This episode was pretty good. Really enjoyed this episode. Yeah, my favorite part about it, obviously, was Scorpion and Spidey fighting. That was really, really cool. Episode 8, Tangled Web. That's the one where we finally get, in like damn near 2 episodes left in the series, the 8th episode, they give us the emotional impact that Peter is facing and has a deep soul-searching moment, which I feel like they could have done a little bit more of. You know, that's a vital part of his character, is like always doubting and questioning himself. But they save it for this. And, you know, it does gain points with me for that, because they finally got around to fucking realizing that Peter Parker as a character is a thing. Yeah, so that was really cool. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Definitely not up to par with Scorpion Rising or Duel with the Devil, but it was nice to actually see Peter have, you know, some deep emotions. Episode 9, Hero or Menace. This one's kind of filler. Honestly, it's hella filler. Fuck all happens in the episode. Like, was there even a fucking villain? Was there? No, there... No, there was. There was the whole thing happen. Like, I even forgot that he becomes Tombstone. Like, Lonnie becomes the leader of the gang in this episode, and then gets like this gas that turns him into like a super strength kind of dude, and then, you know, that was really cool. I really liked that. The episode 9, even though it was more so like filler, it felt like still pretty good. I would give this one a 5.5 out of 10. Middle of the road with some redeeming qualities in it, you know, pretty bog standard. And then episode 10, I really liked episode 10 a lot, actually. That one felt the most Spider-Man, I would say, out of the entire series, besides maybe episode 1. And I really enjoyed the season finale, and because of the season finale, I am looking forward to a new season if they do season 2. Yeah, so I would give the final episode a solid 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and if I had to choose my top 3 episodes, definitely number 1 being my top 8 out of 10. Then I would do episode 10 with a solid 7 out of 10, and then I would do Duel with the Devil, just because Daredevil's fucking badass, and yeah, that one personally for me would take the third place. However, honorable mention would be the Scorpion Rising episode where he fights Scorpion. Very fucking cool. But yeah, in the end of the season, we get some stuff with Jean working with Daredevil, which was pretty cool. Caught me off guard. And then Nico doing whatever, you know, she was. I don't know what character she is in the comics. You know, I'm a nerd, but I'm not a hardcore nerd. So that was like, they could have did a little bit more with her as a character. She was kind of underutilized. It would have been nice to set her up as like a love interest for Peter, you know, but you know, maybe we'll get that in season 2 or something. I don't know. Overall, I really found myself enjoying this. This is an enjoyable watch. Would I recommend people to go out of their way to see this? Nah, I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to see this. If you have time to watch it and need something to watch, you know, that's good enough, and you'll have some fun in it. This one's okay. This one's something you can just throw on without needing to like super focus on it. Kind of just there, on all honesty. It's not anything mind breaking or like over the top, but it didn't need to be, you know, to be fair. And I think overall, I'm gonna give the series season 1 a solid. I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Wasn't the greatest, but still good enough to have a lot of good moments that I really fucked with overall. So, yeah, guess a solid 7 out of 10 for me. That's going to do it for me, folks. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. Like I said, leave a like, subscribe, do all that cool shit. That way I know you really fuck with the channel and the reviews. We'll be having the Brave New World breakdown here shortly. I'm a little bit behind on it, but I'm trying to get to it as fast as I can. And then yeah, we've got the song coming out on Saturday, and then probably going to do some more Marvel stuff in relation. I'm probably going to go through and do some of the older Marvel stuff as well, to try to get some of that stuff done. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff on my plate I want to do. And then and then when Marvel's got a bit of a downtime, I know we've got Daredevil. We're gonna have to try to catch up on Daredevil, the first show, because coming March we got the new Daredevil show, and I'll have to review that. 100% I'll be reviewing that. But then we won't have anything until the Thunderbolts, and then the Fantastic Four. It's gonna be a big year for me if I get these reviews out. But yeah, I want to do some other reviews too of just like some other like movies and shows and stuff. So that would be actually fun to do. Outside of that, yeah, I think we got some gameplay coming. From some games. The reason I've been doing more of this kind of content rather than gameplay, I've lost my external hard drive, which means I've lost a lot of my downloaded games, so it's been a lot harder to keep track of all that. But anyways, that's enough rambling. You've heard me talking for almost half an hour now. I think you guys deserve a little bit of a break, so hopefully you guys will be excited for the next video I upload. With that being said, I'll leave you guys for the next one. Deuces, everybody. Bye-bye.